vibing.
Yeah.
Vibing.
Recording?
Yeah, it's on.
Alright, it's on, yeah. Vibing here.
Souq Waqif.
Souq Waqif, it's Thursday, 1st of December. World Cup, third match is about to end. Fans are out here in full force. It is 2 p.m. and Moroccan fans are absolutely taking over because they might actually qualify today. You know, representing the Arab nations, representing the African nations. I think, man, I'm excited for Morocco, bro. I'm excited for Morocco.
Yeah, 100%. Morocco. What I love about this, we're at Souq Waqif. It's called Souq Waqif, the spot we're at. This is where a lot of the Arab fans actually come together. Music, cheering, drums. It's just a unique culture. I think that most World Cups you won't experience at other World Cups, and the fact that it is in a Middle Eastern nation, a lot of people are celebrating, enjoying, vibing out. You know, drums are out, being themselves, and I think it's an amazing experience. And the hospitality has been great here so far. Love this country. I've been here. This is my second time, so I might come back again, man.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, like what you just said about Souq Waqif, I mean, I think this place is so perfect for the World Cup. Like, it's basically just an amalgamation of traditional Arabic markets, right, from past and present. And when you think about it for the World Cup, right, you want to go to a country, not just explore its stadiums, but explore it culturally. And this is the place to be. Like, the amount of things that foreigners have come here and found and done and seen, like, I think, like, after the World Cup, they'll be like one of the top locations to have visited in any World Cup is Souq Waqif. And I don't care what anyone says, it is. It's just a great place, man.
Nah, it's an amazing place, and I think, look, there's Japanese fans here.
Yeah.
We have South Koreans, and what I realized is, because I've been here for 2 weeks, at the start of the World Cup,
yeah,
it was more just Arab fans,
yeah,
Eastern fans around here. But as the days went on, more foreigners began to realize, hey, this is the spot to be at. And it's open 24 hours, so night, day, drums are out, people are singing, cheering for their nation. It's an absolutely amazing scene, man, and I'd love to come back to here. When I come back to Qatar, I'm coming here again, 100%.
I mean, as at night here, after 9 p.m., it's so bad. It's not like you can't find places at restaurants. No, you actually will struggle walking. Like, there is foot traffic. It's worse than being like on a freeway at 5 p.m. sometimes, because there's all the fans coming. Like you said, the foreign fans, like look, all the Japanese fans just celebrating their culture, and Arabs coming together with them and combining. Mexico sadly went out yesterday, but Mexican fans have been the ones that took over most from the foreign fans here at Souq Waqif. I really enjoyed them. So yeah, man, this is what a World Cup is about, right? And a lot of people, unfortunately, we were talking about this, a lot of people will not show that side, right? In my opinion, there is nothing that can only be bad, right? Everything has good and bad in it, right? And yes, we should talk about the bad, definitely, because we want to improve, we need to make things better, but you can't talk about the bad and not mention the good selectively, right? Based on who you like and who you don't like, and based on what you know and what you don't know. The reality is, and I've always said, can I be controversial here?
No, say what you want, man.
The reality is, there's only 300,000 Qataris, right? It's very easy for any country that doesn't know Qatar to criticize this country, because there's not going to be so much backlash. There's not many people defending it. Their numbers are very small. So when you get 50 million people criticizing 300,000 people, obviously 50 million people are going to win on social media, right? So that's the reality. It's very easy to criticize Qatar, right? It's harder to criticize big countries that do the same thing, because a lot of people go there. But when a lot of, like here, a lot of the tourists are Arabs, Asians, Africans, and the reality is we don't have the power on social media. Like, we don't have the power in numbers. We don't have the power in all the glamour and stuff that we have. In the end, right? A lot of people talk about things like sports washing, but for me, like, the West, there's sports washing, there's music washing, right? Just because their entertainment industry is so good, everyone bats a blind eye, and I think that's unfair. Everyone, I'm not saying where we are is perfect. Every place has its negatives and every place has its advantages, but unless we fairly judge, right? Unless you fairly judge every country, you fairly judge every event, you fairly judge every place, it's going to be unfair. It's going to be unfair to talk about this stuff. And you can't tell me whataboutism. I'm going deep into this. You can't tell me whataboutism,
keep going in deep, keep going in deep.
You can't tell me whataboutism, because it's just an excuse for you to say, yeah, I don't want to put effort into thinking about this case. I just want to criticize whatever it is that I'm not able to go to, or I'm jealous of, or that I don't like, or that I'm just not putting enough effort to be educated about, you know?
I think the best thing, one thing I think, well, I already knew, but like it confirmed to me, is that never judge a place until you experience it for yourself. So you can't really judge. You can't really judge a country until you experience it for yourself. You can't have these ideas just because the media says it. You know, a lot of people in the media, they were saying that this place isn't prepared. The hotel's been great. The stadiums aren't built properly. The stadium's been amazing. The World Cup is going to be interesting. We got games going to the last match day, most intense games. We're watching some of these players play in peak performance.
Yeah,
you know.
but people are still criticizing, and that just brought me to like a conclusion. Is it simple? People who, if you look for bad things, you will find bad things. If your mind is closing any possibility of something being positive, of course you're not going to find that possibility.
Yeah.
Of course.
100%.
So if in your mind you've said, that's it, this is going to be a bad World Cup, confirmation bias. Anything you see on social media, and your algorithm is going to support that too. You guys got to remember, right? Your algorithm is what you want to see. If you're looking for bad things, you're going to see bad things on your algorithm. And if you're looking at good things, you're going to find good things on your algorithm. So don't always trust the algorithm. It's not a true representation of what's happening in real life.
And if you didn't make it to this World Cup, you missed out.
Yeah. So just a bit about myself. I'm a content creator here at the World Cup with FIFA in English, Arabic, and Spanish. So I've been around to different games with fans from a week before the World Cup. And you know, we got a lot of criticism the week before. Everyone was saying like, oh, there's not going to be any fans at this World Cup, paid fans and all of that. And I just want to say one thing about this whole paid fan thing, because it really does expose racism. I'll tell you why. So basically, the people who are saying paid fans are essentially saying that Indians and Bangladeshi fans cannot support teams, right? Why do they have to be paid? Oh, Indians like cricket. Yeah, well, Indians also like to support Brazil, Argentina, Portugal. They like Cristiano Ronaldo, they like Messi, they like Neymar. Why is it not allowed for them to support? Okay, they like cricket, great. Australians like footy and cricket and rugby, but they're supporting at the World Cup. But when the white Australians did it, everyone was like, amazing, man, this is fantastic. No one said that the Australian government paid their fans to watch. Actually, yeah, did anyone say that the Australian Australian government paid their fans to watch at Federation Square? No. But if it was Indians, of course they got paid, right? So that just exposes another aspect of this like underlying racism that is occurring. And you will say that, I mean, look at you, your excuses just got exposed. You cannot say that. So just like it's all right for Australians to support the World Cup when it's not their first sport, the USA, same thing. It's all right for Indians. It's all right for Bangladeshis, Nepali. All of these people are. That's the point of the World Cup, is that everyone is allowed to support it. You may not like it, right? You may not like seeing a group of Indians supporting Brazil, but do you even know that? I mean, I've been living in the Middle East all my life. I know many Indians who've been supporting these national teams for a long time. What is it?
I'm from Australia. I support Argentina. I support England. You know, in the World Cup, those are the teams I like.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with that? No. It's just because I love the sport. I love the football. I love they have a rich history in their sport, and you know, I love some of the players. That's why we support them.
But there you go, right? It's a World Cup, and people are asking for inclusivity, right? They're asking for everyone to be included. But when Indians support England, no, they're not real fans. This doesn't represent England. Shouldn't you be happy that you have people from different places around the world supporting? I mean, you know, you can't talk about inclusion. You can't talk about bringing people together when you're excluding people from supporting your nation. Your nation did very well by being one of the best footballing nations in the world, and people have come to support that. That's the whole point of football. It brings people together. But you excluding people and saying it's not your local team, it's not your local nation. Yeah, man. Well, people like things for more than just the national team. I love supporting my national team, but it doesn't mean that I can't like European nations, South American nations. For me personally, I love South American football. You're going to prevent me? So I support my national team. That's where, patriotically, that's where I'm at. But in terms of football and entertainment, I love watching Brazil and Argentina. In terms of fans and the vibes, I love Argentina. So you can't stop me from liking that. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of a World Cup, bro. So again, there's something, right? People want to include who they want to include, and they want to exclude who they want to exclude. What do you think about that, man?
It's a cold world we live in, man. It's a double standard. Look, if the World Cup was held in Australia, a lot of Aussies will be at the Brazilian games cheering like they support. They've known Neymar from day one. But you know, that's how it is. We love football. It's called the World Game for a reason. You know, it's been broadcast all around the world, and a lot of people have been watching it since they were kids. You know, so my final statement would probably be, you know, at the end of the day, football brings people together, and the media's trying to get everyone against each other. we got to come together, enjoy the sport, enjoy the game, enjoy the people, enjoy the multiculturalism, enjoy people coming together, eating different foods, you know, having joy, having laughs, being happy. And I think even I was going to say this is probably one of the best World Cups for a family. If I had kids and I was married right now, I would have loved to bring my kids here. Such a friendly environment because you don't have, there's no alcohol here, you know. This is natural. This is natural joy.
Let's talk.
It's not fueled joy.
I want to actually, if we got some time, we'll talk about that last point. All right, so, I'm not, let's talk about the situation with alcohol, right? I definitely believe that with alcohol, some fans would have been more pumped up. But then again, I want you to look at Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Tunisia, Senegal, Ghana, right? All of these countries, predominantly Muslim countries, all of these countries, definitely, you know, people may drink alcohol here and there, but I'm talking about as a group, as a collective, you find the majority are not drinking alcohol. You may tell me there's an individual here and there, it doesn't matter. English fans, they collectively drink beer and go to games, right? We don't have that in our culture, in the Arabic, in the Islamic cultures. There is no like group alcohol drink where we go out to games, right? And yet fans were still so happy. And I saw this comment after Saudi Arabia beat Argentina, when Saudis were so happy in the video, and some European guy, I think it was Dutch, was like,
you do this without drinking or something.
No, he didn't say that. He said, man, you guys need to get drunk tonight. Like, I think if there's any day that calls for it, it's this day. And the Saudi guy replied to him, he's like, but you see, we're already happy. And I want to go home and drive after this. You know, I want to be able to be happy, enjoy my time, drive back home, and not feel like shit and be a threat to my family. Now, I'm not saying you're good or bad for drinking alcohol, right? Whatever you do, like I've drank alcohol before, whatever. It's not the situation I'm talking about. But the point I'm talking about here is that can we live our lives without alcohol, yes or no, right? Is that the thing that makes a World Cup good or bad? Like, I need to. You know, they're offering alcohol in some places, right? Great, good for you. You want to go do that, go do that. But I think people have shown here that it's very much possible to live without it. Look, I personally went through a phase where I was drinking a lot of alcohol because I used to think that it was the thing that I needed to fuel me, right? Like, you know, without it, the night is, you know, it's average. But then I tried, and I even went to things like clubbing, raves, and I would go sober. And I realized that in the end, for me, right, I'm not telling you how to judge yourself, but it is possible to do it without drinking. So in the end, you can't judge a place. You can't say like, oh man, you know, fuck, no alcohol is going to be a bad one. No one said it's going to be a bad one. You assumed, you associated a bad time with lack of alcohol. That's not our issue. That's not the country that's bad. Because a lot of places in the world don't have alcohol in public. Are you gonna just?
Even in France, you can't actually have
in games.
In games, in England, you can't actually drink in the stands.
Yeah.
So a lot of places are taking alcohol, and it is for a reason. So if you guys are thinking, oh, there's no alcohol, there's no fun, there is a reason, because alcohol, at the end of the day, it creates potentially a violent environment. You know, where fans are fighting. Whereas in these environments, I haven't seen many fights. I've seen maybe a couple scuffles.
Yeah.
There hasn't actually been an all-out intense fight between people, because you know why? People are coming, having a natural joy. This is actual, like, real dopamine, spending time with their families, enjoying the game, enjoying the beautiful football, and feeling safe. Like, people are walking down this market at 4 a.m. with their toddlers.
Yeah, like, man, put that into perspective. And another point also, at Fed Square the other day, they banned beers, right? So there you go. Why would they ban beer? Why have they banned beer in Australia in public? Why can't you drink a beer in the street? Because they know that people get fueled with it, right? There are regulations for a reason. So this is a Muslim country. The fact that they have opened up and said, okay, there's potential to have areas for you to drink beer, that's a positive note. No, you've come and said, no, they need to open it. Why? Well, Australia, France, England, you know, they do the same thing. They have regulations. No, but we're just angry at Qatar, so they have to do what we want.
Yeah.
That's unfair. That is an unfair criticism. So in the end, yeah, I think that this has been a great World Cup. Again, you mentioned an important point, right? To take your kid out at 4 a.m. wherever you live in the world is very rare, right? To walk in an empty alleyway at 4 a.m. You can walk in any alleyway here, and I will guarantee you, I'm not going to say 100%, right? But 99.5% of the time, you will be all right. You will not find one person. You will not find one person injecting themselves, drinking, throwing shit. You will not find any anything like that.
Yeah.
And there is respect for that here. You know, it's not like, you know, people try to no, there is respect for that here. The other day, Moroccan fans were celebrating and they got a bit too edged up, like they were bringing flares, like, yeah, let's go crazy. And they were putting I think they put a song that was not really appropriate. And a Qatari guy came and spoke to them, they spoke about it, and they solved it peacefully. They solved it peacefully, bro. That's it. They didn't have to fight, and they were celebrating a huge win, probably their biggest win at the World Cup since '86. And what did they do? They peacefully solved it. They won't show you this side. They will not show you this side of the media. They will only tell you. There was this Italian journalist the other day who said there were Iranian fans fighting and women's rights and whatever. We were there at the stadium. We saw what happened. We saw the video angles. But because that Italian journalist is very famous and he has been trusted with other things, that's probably what's going to be put out in the Western media. But that's unfair because that's not what actually happened. But people are genuinely doing that, are genuinely lying to make their agenda look better. Because imagine you're a journalist, right? 7 years you've been criticizing this because you never visited, you never did the actual research, you just read what was there in front of you. Then you go to the place and you're like, damn, this is actually good, bro. They actually exceed my expectations. How embarrassing would it be for you after 7 years? Like, it's not like a few months, like 7 years, right? How embarrassing would it be for you to be there and say, guys, it's actually good. It's actually pretty good. I think this is nice. I think, I've been wrong the whole time. For 7 years, I've been wrong. That will just kill all your credibility as a journalist.
Yeah.
So remember, when you're looking at the media, remember, what's the goal? No Western media is going to benefit from writing something positive about Qatar. They're not going to get views, right? No one's going to say, everything is good in Qatar. The stadiums have been fantastic. No, stadiums are actually empty and they're lying about the attendance numbers. They actually banned alcohol everywhere. They actually did this. They actually prevented people from coming. Because it gets views. So think about it. What does a newspaper want? They want to make views. They want to get money. And so to do that, the best thing right now, the easiest thing to write on is just negative.
And the negativity always gets you views, that's what they want. They want the views, a lot of these, and this World Cup is exposing the flaws of the media, Look at the TikToks a lot of people from America, Australia, Europe have been sending. They've been making TikToks, reviewing their place before they leave and saying, yo, I've been told this is going to be underprepared, this is going to be the worst World Cup I'm going to attend, and they ended up saying the hospitality's been great, the food's been great, the stadiums have been great, the football's been great, and even speaking on the safety, I literally forgot to lock my door for my cabin. I'm standing in the fan village. I had my laptop there, all my cameras there. That was an accident because my roommate took the key. Anyways, I came back 12 hours later. No one entered my room. Everything was there. And it's like, I don't even know, like, let's just say if that happened in Melbourne, I probably would have got half my stuff stolen away. You know what I mean? If someone saw the door open.
Well, my mate, he's a videographer, and we were at Souq Waqif at 7 p.m. This peak time, right? And we walked 15 minutes out of Souq Waqif. All the roads are blocked, right? So, you have to get out at 15 minutes to get to the Uber. He forgot his phone.
Yeah.
On a bench.
Okay.
On a bench in Souq Waqif. Sorry, man. 30 minutes later, we come back. The security guard saved it for him and gave him his phone back. And the guy who lives in Australia too, he's from Sydney, he was like to me, oh man, I forgot my laptop. So actually, it's Qatar. Let me leave. He's like, I'm going to leave my laptop out for fun today. He just jokes around with it because he was like, I cannot believe it. I've been living in Sydney my whole life to go to a place where, fuck, bro. This shit is getting to me.
them lungs are coughing it right now, man.
Anyways, you guys know what we mean. I think we talked pretty much a good amount.
We spoke enough. We'll give his lungs a break.
Yeah, my lungs.
But this is an amazing experience right now. This is just in Souq Waqif. We'll actually make this into a little video, so I'll just post this on YouTube. It was actual vibe.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, if you guys are ever in Doha, check out Souq Waqif. It's actual vibe.
I'll be here for another 2 weeks. So whoever's here up until the final, if Australia make it to the final, let's fucking go Socceroos, bro. Let's get it.
Up to Socceroos.
Let's beat Argentina.
Yeah,
he's kind of torn between Messi and Australia.
I'm supporting Australia until Messi wins, and then I'm back on the Messi bandwagon.
All right, man. I appreciate this.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate meeting you, bro.
I'm trying to tell you something. For you, going, have your parade. For your sun turn black and gray. Come on, let me serenade.